When the playoffs roll around, they say that the regular season is meaningless. If history is an indication of anything, then we would have to say that we agree. When it comes to winning championships, it's about who's hot at the right time. I'm Justin Fraction, and today we dive into the 10 lowest-seeded teams that shocked us by winning it all. And a big shout-out to Mr. McLovin for suggesting this list. We do hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, feel free to click subscribe down below for more cool videos every single day. Number 10, 1969 Boston Celtics. The Celtics clinched the 4th seed and final playoff spot in the Eastern Division, finishing with a 48-34 record. Led by the iconic Bill Russell, Boston knocked off the 2nd-seeded Philadelphia 76ers in the opening round of the playoffs. In the division finals, the Celtics got through the 3rd-seeded New York Knicks, setting up an NBA Final showdown with the LA Lakers. Boston defeated their historic rival in a thrilling 7-game series. Number 9, 2003 Florida Marlins. The Marlins were something else. They had a 20-year-old Miguel Cabrera in their lineup. They also had one of the league's premier base stealers in Juan Pierre and a young pitching phenom named Josh Beckett. Florida qualified for the playoffs with a 91-71 record, taking home the National League wildcard spot. Facing the defending NL champion San Francisco Giants in the NLDS, the Marlins pulled off a shocking upset in 4 games. As for the NLCS against the Chicago Cubs, just Google Steve Bartman. The 4th-seeded Marlins pulled off the Cinderella story by shocking the New York Yankees in the World Series, winning their 2nd title in 6 years. Number 8, 2007 New York Giants. The G-men started the 2007 season with consecutive losses, and many thought it was time for head coach Tom Coughlin to receive his walking papers. But Eli Manning turned it around, and the Giants' ferocious pass rush guided the team to a 10-6 record, good enough for the 5th seed in the NFC. New York, who won its last 7 road games in the regular season, pulled off upset after upset. They eliminated the 4th seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the wild card round, then took down the top-seeded Dallas Cowboys in round 2. They shocked the 2nd-seeded Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship. And then, well, you know the rest. They win Super Bowl 42 and spoil the New England Patriots' perfect season. Number 7, 1995 New Jersey Devils. In a lockout-shortened 48-game regular season, the Devils finished with a mere 22, 18, and 8 record, barely nabbing the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. Led by superstar goalie Martin Brodeur, and thanks to the infamous neutral zone trap, ran right through the East. They started their miraculous playoff run by eliminating Ray Bourque's Boston Bruins in the first round. New Jersey then took down the powerhouse Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. They capped it off by eliminating the heavily favored Philadelphia Flyers to reach the Stanley Cup Final. Facing the ultra-heavily favored Detroit Red Wings in the Stanley Cup Final, New Jersey's red-hot goalie and shutdown defense got the job done once again. The Devils swept the Wings to win their first championship. Number 6, 2002 Anaheim Angels. The Angels took home the lone wild-card spot in the American League with a 99-63 record. But nobody really expected them to make much noise in the crowded AL that featured the juggernaut Oakland Athletics and New York Yankees. Nonetheless, the Angels shocked the defending AL champion Yankees in 4 games before defeating the 3rd-seeded Minnesota Twins to reach the Fall Classic. The Angels met another wild-card winner, the San Francisco Giants, in the World Series. Thanks to a historic comeback in Game 6, the Angels wound up defeating their California rivals in 7 games to win their first championship. Number 5, 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. Thanks to a mega collapse by the Atlanta Braves, the Cardinals' 90-72 record was good enough to take home the NL wildcard spot. But few people thought they had a chance against the Philadelphia Phillies, who led the majors with an 102-60 record. But St. Louis took down Philly in 5 games before facing the 2nd-seeded Milwaukee Brewers in the NLCS. The Cardinals polished off their NL Central foes in 6 games. St. Louis had to face the Texas Rangers in the World Series, but the Cinderella run never ended. The Cardinals won the series in 7 games, winning their 2nd championship in 5 years. Number 4, 2010 Packers. The Packers qualified for the playoffs on Week 17 of the season, earning the 2nd wildcard spot with a 10-6 record. They started off the run by eliminating a resurgent Michael Vick and his Philadelphia Eagles in the first round. They then crushed the top-seeded Atlanta Falcons to reach the NFC Championship game against the NFC North-winning Chicago Bears. The Pack beat their arch-rivals to reach Super Bowl 45. Aaron Rodgers turned in a performance for the ages, leading the Packers to a thrilling 31-25 victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 3, 1995 Houston Rockets. Despite being the defending NBA champions, few thought the Rockets would successfully defend their title. They went 47-35 to nab the 6th seed in the Western Conference and faced a long journey to get back to the top of the mountain. Powered by Hakeem Olajuwon, the Rockets started off by beating Karl Malone and John Stockton's Utah Jazz in the first round. They then took down Charles Barkley and the 2nd-seeded Phoenix Suns in round 2. They then defeated the San Antonio Spurs in 6 games to reach the NBA Finals again. Unfazed by Shaquille O'Neal's Orlando Magic, the Rockets pulled off a shocking sweep over the top seed in the East, winning their second championship in a row. Number 2, 2005 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers owned a respectable 11-5 record, but it was only good enough for the second wildcard spot and 6th seed in the AFC. The run started with a big win over their AFC North winning rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh then took down Peyton Manning's top-seeded Indianapolis Colts in the divisional round, before pummeling the second-seeded Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. The Steelers met the NFC's top team, the Seattle Seahawks, in Super Bowl 40. Powered by an elite defense, some trickery by Antoine Randall L., and the strong play of Hines Ward, the Steelers capped off the incredible run with their 5th Super Bowl in franchise history. And number 1, 2012 Los Angeles Kings. The Kings were a Stanley Cup favorite at the start of the season, but they barely qualified for the postseason as the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Nobody seemed too afraid of them in the playoffs. Well, thanks to a strong defensive game implemented by new head coach Daryl Sutter, the Kings took down the President's Trophy-winning Vancouver Canucks in 5 games. That was a shocking upset. LA then swept the second-seeded St. Louis Blues in round 2 before taking down the third-seeded Phoenix Coyotes to reach the Stanley Cup final. LA defeated the New Jersey Devils in 6 games, winning their first Stanley Cup and becoming the first 8th seed to win it all. What were some of the other lowest seeds to win a championship? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton and we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to Total Pro Sports though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.